How's it going, everybody? Well, yes indeed, here it is, the new Air Hogs Tie Advanced. And of course, I know exactly what you might be thinking. This is one expensive Air Hogs, and there's no question about that. You could get some pretty decent RC vehicles for the same price. You could get a ready-to-fly Blade Inductrix, or you could get a ready-to-fly Champ. Both of those are really good flyers, but they're not Star Wars. But you know what? Who am I kidding? I love Star Wars, and I also love to try flying new things, so here it is. So I'm going to unbox this thing for you guys. We're going to check it out here at the table, and then I'm going to go take it and fly it, and I will let you guys decide if you think this thing is worth the price. But looking at it in the box, I gotta say, it does look pretty cool. You need to supply 6 AA batteries. Star Wars Air Hogs Tie Advanced controller, guys. This is the nerve center for flying your Tie Advanced, and I'll go over it for you really quickly. On the bottom there is a micro USB port, and you can actually use that to charge the Tie Advanced. So all you have to do is get a micro USB cable, plug it in there, plug it into your computer or wall adapter, and you can charge the Tie Advanced without using the main batteries from the transmitter. On-off switch here, one push for on, one push for off, and then you have these what look like buttons on the top. They look like shoulder buttons, but they're not. They're just hard plastic, so these are not functional. Throttle stick on the left, guys, and it's very springy, very snappy, and I'll show that to you guys. Snap, snap, that's your throttle. Rudder, right-left control on the right stick here, and that's very simple too. It's just 3 points basically. Center, one click right, one click left. That's it. Then you have a trim dial here for the rudder, so you can actually trim the rudder out. And on the bottom corner right here, you have your little port for charging the Tie Advanced from the radio. Well, the Tie Advanced is Darth Vader's TIE Fighter. I don't think he had the dihedral that this one has. It was not required in space, but here on Earth we do need that to probably stabilize it and make it fly better. If you're going to scratch build one of these things, you'd probably leave out the dihedral and put in elevons, but this one just uses those ducted fans and this little runty rudder here in the back. So should be kind of interesting to see how this thing flies, but I swear, guys, I'm going to give it the best shot that I can. You know, the X-Wing I took to a park that was too small when I first flew it, but taking it to a bigger place after that, it was actually pretty easy to fly. And I think most people could probably fly it. The trick is just not to over control it, fly it real gently, let it make its turns, and then just kind of lead it around the air. So I'm gonna go for it, guys. Let's go ahead and take this thing outside and give it a shot. Okay, the Tie Advanced is out here ready to go. I've got the nice little finger hold right there. The rudder is trimmed about as much to neutral as I can get it. And it's not quite the perfect day. There's some wind. It's a little breezy. Normally I wouldn't recommend flying this in much wind at all because it's so lightweight. But I'm out here, going to give it a go. Let's go hunt down some rebel scum. Here we go, Tie Advanced from Air Hogs. All right, it's flying. Pitching up. It's flying. I'm full throttle right now. And I'm just giving little blips. Left, right on that rudder stick. Okay, getting it. Just little inputs. Sorry about the sun. That's gonna mess me up. There it is. See if I can come down the throttle a little. There we go. So it wants to fly nose up because I think it is a little bit nose heavy, and then it has that up elevator trim sort of on that wing there. But hey, it's flying. See if I can bring it down a little closer here. And remember, there's no elevator control, so your up and down is all based on the throttle. And then push the throttle up here. Bring it around. Whoa, okay. Got it, recovered that. And throttle just died. All right, well, the throttle quit on me, but it still seems like it has some in it, so I'm gonna just launch it again real quick here. All right, guys, take 2. Throwing it into the wind here. Yeah, it's still got some power, so I don't know why it died. So if you hold the rudder stick, I'm going to just hold it and show you guys. So that's holding it. So that's not bad, it's turning. Try and straighten it out and fly right over to me. There you go, that's good. All right. Not bad, it's definitely flyable. Kind of similar probably to the X-Wing. Keep that throttle up. You kind of have to just keep correcting it. Hold it in a right turn here. Correct it so it doesn't die. Yeah, if you keep turning it too much, I think it'll stall and come down. So you got to be a little bit light with this rudder stick here. Definitely flyable though. And it does tend to wander a little bit. You're kind of just constantly correcting it. There it is, Air Hogs TIE Advanced, cruising along. So I'm not sure why it died over there before. Maybe I went out of range. It's possible. Okay, I've actually kind of lost the orientation on it for a second here. There it comes. Let's get it back. There's the sun. Not good. Actually, you know, it's pretty cool. It's not bad, I gotta say. It's pretty cool. And this is a fair amount of wind. Way too much wind probably for this thing. I think in some nice calm conditions it'll be better. Yeah, now the wind's blowing and it's knocking it around big time. But this tiny rudder is surprisingly effective at turning it. You know, you look at it and you go, that rudder is just nothing, but it's actually pretty good at turning it. Alright, you probably can't see it too well, it's so far away at this point. Oh. Yeah, let me bring it back. Yeah, I'm having trouble bringing it back into the wind. And now it just went dead. It's just going to come down. Alright guys, here it is. And you know, no damage, I'm not worried about it. One nice thing about this foam is that it's going to be pretty resistant to crashing. So it's very flexible. So it's going to drop out of the sky, not have any problem. I think what's happening, see I still have throttle, I think what's happening is I'm just getting out of radio range. And it doesn't have a very good range on it. So you can still see it and still lose range. And that's what's happening. It was having trouble fighting the wind coming back. Sorry about the helicopter. But, you know, trouble fighting the wind coming back and then getting out of radio range and losing the signal and just dropping to the ground. But no problem, it's in good shape. Let's give it one more try. Hey, look how good it's flying, guys. It is flying well. It doesn't look bad from the side, from the front. You know, it's not a bad little Air Hogs. I still think it's kind of expensive for what it is, but it's Star Wars, you know, so that's going to add the premium to it. So let's give it one more shot here. I think we're low on power. Whoa. I think for the most part it is actually dead, but I'm going to keep going until, you know, it's completely dead. So let's try again. The wind just took it, you see that? And now it's going to have trouble coming back. That's full throttle and we're low on battery. I'm just fighting the wind to come back here. It's kind of like a kite right now. But it's actually pretty cool. Lower the throttle down a little. Now we're going to come down when it's going to take off probably. There it goes. Come around into the wind again. And we're running out of power. Come on. Come on. All right, that's it. Yes, now I think this thing is completely out of power. Yep. No response. It's completely dead. So I'm going to total up that flight time and see what it was. The main lesson is keep it in radio range. If it gets too far away, and it's probably around, they say, I think 75 meters, that seems to be about right, because once I got to that point, it basically just quits in the air. No radio signal, no power, it comes down. Well, there it is, guys. I'm flying of the new Air Hogs TIE Advanced, and you know what? Pretty much flies exactly how I'd expect for a 2-channel Air Hog. No big surprises there. Throttle for climbing and descending, and then you have your rudder stick for left and right turns. Easy to launch, very stable. It's got this built-in dihedral into the wing or the lifting body, so the turns are pretty stable. It's hard to over-control it, although if you hold that rudder stick for too long, you will start to over-control it and it may lose altitude and come down. But it's pretty easy to fly. It handled the wind fairly well considering it's low powered, but it was getting blown downwind and eventually out of range during those flights. I think it will do a lot better on a calm day. And I do like to show you guys the first flight on something like this because it gives you a great idea of what you can expect right out of the box after that first charge, how it's going to fly. No question, if you keep flying this thing, practice with it, you know, fly a bunch of charges through it, you'll get better at it, you'll get more proficient, and you'll fly it better and better, and pretty soon you'll just be flying nice circles right around yourself. So no question about that. It's stable, it's easy to fly, and it doesn't look too bad in the air. I think it looks better than the X-Wing. It definitely has the basic gist of the TIE Advanced, and you know, overall not too bad. It's a little bit nose heavy, I think, in reality, because you've got the motors up front, you've got the electronics, battery in this pilot pod here, but they built in this up elevator trim into the back of the wing or the lifting body here. So it's got built-in up elevator trim, which kind of compensates for that, and it flies in a bit of a nose up angle like this, and it's fine, it's stable. So, you know, does what I'd expect it to do, and not a bad flyer overall. Foam is pretty good, you know, it does have some nice detail kind of in there with the wing panels right here, and then also there's even some detail molded into the foam. So, you know, they took some extra steps to make it kind of detailed, and you can see some of the lines in the foam right there, the panel lines. So overall, you know, I think it's not bad. Now, is it worth the money? Because it's pretty pricey for a 2-channel Air Hog. You know, I'm just gonna let you guys decide that. I showed you it flying. I'll have another flight video once I get some calm weather and I can hopefully get a better flight with it. So I'll show you that too. But as far as whether it's worth the money, I'll let you decide. Depends how big an Air Hogs fan you are. Depends how big a Star Wars fan you are. There are other good RCs you can get for that much money, but I don't know if you can get another ready to fly TIE Advanced, which sort of looks the part. So that's all I'm going to say about it. I'll let you guys decide. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching the video. Any questions or comments, please post below, and I will see you next time. I'm out of battery, so I'm just going to throw it around some more and glide it. Yeah, pretty good. It's pretty well balanced. You know, it's tough. You can definitely knock it around. This thing is going to fly okay. I wish this field wasn't full of geese, I really do. It's just kind of gross. Ugh. That's gross. Got some cleaning to do. All right, let's do inverted launch. All right, I gotta go clean this thing up. Clean it up, fly it again.